Welcome to the Small Scale Life Podcast. Your hosts, Tom and Julie, talk about wellness, gardening, and connecting to nature and people as we learn, do, grow, and be a little better every day. Are you ready? Let's go. Welcome to the Small Scale Life Podcast. I'm your host, Tom, and I'm so thankful that you are here for another conversation about improving your mind, body, and soul as we learn, do, grow, and be a little better every day. For show notes, links, resources, support, and other information, head on over to our website at smallscalelife.com. Let's get on to the topic for this show. All right. Welcome to the Small Scale Life Podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Tom, and I have at my right on the screen is my buddy
Adam with Modern Frontier Farms.
Awesome. How you doing, man?
Doing great. How's it going for you?
It's good. You know, I just saw you literally in the flesh just a couple days ago, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, you came on out to the farmer's market trying to be all sneaky and everything, you know, like Tommy is. And but you got there just in time to help me clean up.
Yeah, that's
perfect timing.
I'm the cleanup crew. You know, what better way to have fun with friends than to pick up all their stuff?
Absolutely. Worked out pretty well.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was over at Java Twist. Yes, Java Twist in Pewaukee, Wisconsin. And it's a great little winter indoor farmers market. There's all kinds of products there. Really cool, including meat from Modern Frontier Farms.
Of course. So it's an elite farmers market. You have your basics. You have a couple extras. Everything there is high end, really good. It's one of those quick, easy farmers markets. So if you're in the Milwaukee area, you know, it's a great little farmers market. Stop in, say hi to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's some really good, high quality products right there, all in one spot. You don't have to go through an entire farmers market. I know that's fun, but you still get to meet the producers, shake the hand that feeds you.
Absolutely. And I did not buy any meat this time, but I know, I'm sorry, man. But we did just have your chicken. It was fantastic. I did a beer can chicken, brined it. I was testing out my Thanksgiving brine. It came out great, really delicious. And we'll make soup out of the remains. So that'll be really good. I bought some garlic, rosemary, sourdough, and I just had some for dinner tonight. It was fantastic. And then the booth next to you, they had some canned goods. So the salsa and the jalapeno pickles, those are being saved for Thanksgiving. So yeah, really good people, seemed really nice. Everybody was talking, and I really like the end of the farmers market because there's a lot of bartering that goes on at the very end, and it's kind of fun to watch that community develop and go. So that was cool.
Yeah. You know, it's just, hey, what do you like? What do I like? You know, the little bartering going on. It helps each other out, right? You know, we have product at the end of the market. Obviously, my stuff, it's frozen. It's not a big deal for me to take it home, but I like to help other people out. I got this awesome loaf of sourdough.
Yes,
delicious stuff.
What'd you get? What kind did you get?
I had the cheddar jalapeno.
Oh, very nice.
You put some steak on that.
Oh,
it's such, like, you can just tell. So they're using grains that are regeneratively grown.
Oh, that's that company.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So they're doing some using regeneratively grown flour.
Okay.
Grinding up their own flour, making it fresh. It's a whole wheat berry.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing some stuff that is just incredible. You can taste the difference. You can feel the difference. It's, you know, it just, the flavor's there, and you feel actually kind of pretty good afterwards, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. No, it was really tasty, really good. Looks like some good produce there and some good soaps, and that snack mix looked really good too. I wish I had more money in my pocket. I would have just bought them all out. But yeah, it was a good time for sure. So it was nice seeing you, buddy.
Yeah, great seeing you over there too. And I know it was a short time. You looked exhausted.
I did not, I spent the week in Madison, and I got to tell you, I did not sleep well there. Just, I don't know what it was, but let's see, what night was that? Was that Thursday? That was Thursday. So I gave my speech. I gave a little speech on Tuesday, and that went well. It was well received. Then Wednesday we had a full day of class. Oh, that was brutal. And then Thursday it was sitting all day at a railroad crossing and trying to figure out why things were the way they were. So yeah, I was tired. I didn't sleep good at all. So, but man, Saturday. Was it Saturday? Saturday, I slept until 10. I don't sleep that late anymore, but man, I did, and it was glorious. So anyway, we are back. It is good to be back on with you, my friend. We have a great topic tonight. And this is one that I've thought about quite a bit as I've thought about, okay, how do I start a small thing? How do I sell products? And it really comes down to finding, I mean, even if you think about this podcast and the YouTube channel, you're essentially selling a product, right? I mean, this podcast is a product essentially. How do you sell that? How do you get your first customer? How do I get 2 people up there to watch, more than 2 people to watch? How do I do that? And I can improve. I don't know where to start. I don't know. So I am looking at my friend Adam, who has a business and has sold meat products before. And I would like to learn from you, my friend. So this is going to be kind of an Adam show, and that's okay. I'll throw in questions, and I might have my friend ChatGPT help me out a little bit too. But I'm looking to improve because I want this audience to grow. I want us to have a lot of fun doing this and have more people listen. So how do we do that? So what do you think, man? I mean, you came up with this topic, so you're going to kind of run the table on this one.
So the whole idea is something basic. Okay. When you're trying to learn how to run a business, you need, if you have something, a corollary to sit there and go, okay, hey, this happens here and this happens over here. So there's a similar, something very similar, like a simile, right? Where we're sitting there. It's not exactly the same, but they're so incredibly close. And the thing that I always like to do is I like to go fishing. And yes. Fishing and running a business, finding your business, the people in your business, it's about the same. You know, whether you're catching a customer or you're catching a bluegill, right? There's so many similarities in that, and to be good at it. Each one of us could easily just go out and, accidentally catch a fish, but to be proficient at it, to be really good, you have to have a game plan. Same thing with business. You can't just go, hey, we're going to catch a bunch of fish today. You have to have a game plan. So that's kind of where we're kind of going to go with this subject of one or the other. They're very similar, and I can explain how those things are similar. Even if you're not a big fisherman, maybe you'll find your own correlation between one thing and another and be able to put those together for yourself. Just get your mindset wrapped around, this is how I need to act and proceed in order to run my business and how to make some sales.
But Adam, I watched a movie. And you know what they said in that movie? If you build it, they will come. I mean, we built the infrastructure, we did all the things. We have all the product. They should be knocking the door down to my business, to my product, to get a piece of me, to listen to this podcast. I know, right? It's just, I'm lovable. I'm huggable. I mean, come on. Where are why aren't they coming? Why aren't they showing up? They told me. Kevin Costner told me, and he runs Yellowstone now. So tell me.
Yeah, I mean, he was also in Waterworld, so we can't really count too much on Kevin Costner now, can we?
No.
Though I think that he played pretty good Robin Hood, you know.
American trying to play a Robin Hood,
He didn't have a British accent, did he?
No, he didn't. No, that was pretty rough. And he did a good job in Dances with Wolves. Tatanka.
Oh, hey, absolutely. Danced with Wolves. So just because you cast out a worm on a string out into a water doesn't mean you're going to catch fish. You have to be cast in the right spot. So yeah, go ahead.
One more thing before we get too far down the rabbit hole with this, just to put this in context, Adam, you almost you were a fishing guide for a while, right? So you know what you're talking about in the fishing world. I mean,
yeah,
doing that thing.
I was very light. Only did a couple little guides, did some follow guides, took some little kids out fishing too. Had a lot of fun doing it, but it was one of those things that just like, man, I really love it. But the pressure of having to catch fish, the pressure of performing, it made it not fun for me.
Gotcha.
So therefore, I'm like, nah, write that one off. Said I did it off the bucket list, but now what do you do, right?
Right. So you know a thing or two about my point is you know a thing or two about catching fish. I have seen you catch some fish.
Yeah, I like to go out there fishing, but it's a whole mindset, and it took years and years to get to that point. I could probably even go tell a fishing story. Why not? And to kind of bring us into how all these things kind of play and and go together, right?
Absolutely. Let's go.
All right. So we're up on this lake called North Lake. Two of my friends and I, it's in the Boundary Waters. Half of it's in Canada, half it's in the US. And North Lake is pretty much the headwaters to go all the way up. The North Lake drains all the way up to Hudson Bay. It's on the Continental Divide up there. And beautiful, gorgeous, beautiful lake. There's only a couple of houses on the entire lake, and they're all on the Canadian side.
Sure.
I think it's something like a 14 or 16,000 acre lake. So it's a pretty big lake. We're on that lake. There's only maybe a couple boats on this entire lake. We hardly see anyone all day. And our plan was to catch big walleyes. So we had a plan, right? We knew where the lake was. We knew what that lake was capable of doing. And then we understood what we needed to fish that lake. Well, the weather went really crappy really quick. It went from okay weather to 50 highs in the 50s, wind, some rain, and we're there for like 4 days, right? And first day we caught a few fish. We're just getting started. Then the weather came in. It was horrible weather. We're like, what do we do? Well, we're out there. It's 17 miles back to the boat launch. We had to go down rapids. We had to go through some narrows. It go through three lakes to get to this lake, North Lake. So we're like, well, we're here. We're young. We're dumb. We're going to go fishing, and we're going to see what we can do. So the next 2 days absolutely were horrible. We spent every single moment we could trying to catch fish, trying to figure out how to catch fish. We didn't bring we were planning on catching fish so that we would be able to eat some fish. So we ended up staying focused on those big walleyes. But the cold front came in, and when the cold front comes in, the weather changes, the fish's mouths just close up. We couldn't figure out where they were. Like I said, it was windy. Then it took halfway through the was the third day on the water there. We're tired. We didn't sleep well. It's cold. We're in a tent. We're we're trying to dry our clothes off. It's about anywhere from about 2-foot waves up to 3-foot waves.
Ooh.
It was windy. It was a rough one.
That's a bit more than a walleye chop.
Yeah, just a bit more. And we're sitting there, the boat's doing one of these. It's only a 16-foot. So we ended up coming into this one spot, and all of a sudden, with the radar, my buddy Kevin goes, "There's fish there. There's fish there. Okay, guys, get ready." So we're sitting there vertical jigging, right? Using a technique, heavy weight. We had a large weight on it.
Sure.
Had a leech on there. We're using leeches and night crawlers, and we come back over this one spot. To explain the spot, the wind was blowing into this one rock wall, and we're about the rock bar underneath us was about 12 feet down.
Okay.
And it was in a big hook. We discovered it was in a big hook, which pushed a bunch of the bait fish up against that wall. It also gave this little hook there that allowed all the bait fish to kind of hold tight.
Sure.
And it drew in the walleyes. And we're sitting there vertical jigging. And then all of a sudden, after several days of no fish, all of a sudden we started catching fish, one after another.
Nice.
Started off, all of a sudden we had a 26-inch walleye in the boat. Then we had a 27-inch walleye in the boat.
Wow.
Then a couple 24s, a 25, another 26, another 27. Then we broke the 28 barrier, which is for us, it's like 28 inches. That's what we call a hog. And we ended up catching 17 fish that day. Largest one was 29 and a half inches.
That's this long, people. I've got my tape measure up. That is 29 and a half right there. Corner to corner. That's a big walleye. Holy smokes, dude.
It was huge.
Wow.
Ooge, just ooge.
Oh, yeah, there, guy. That's a big fish there. Oh. Once caught a fish this big.
Right. And we're out there, and it took a lot of time, took a lot of effort to figure out what we're doing. And with the changing of the weather, the changing of the conditions, we're able to adapt, stay persistent, and overcome and figure out how to catch those fish. It was one of the most rewarding fishing trips that we've ever really had, because it was like, man, remember, we fished for 3 days and we had about 3 hours of just glorious fish, just big fish after big fish after big fish. So it shows that right there, shows persistence, shows that planning, and shows that understanding what's going on can really help make you successful at whatever endeavor you're doing. In this case, it was fishing, right? So I guess I would first start off with fishing taught me how to be persistent.
Sure.
To sit there and keep going, keep doing something. But persistence isn't everything, right? It's you have to make changes. So in persistence in business, you're going to have to sit there and be persistent. Like, hey, it's not going to happen right off the bat. Persistence in a podcast, right? No one's going to listen to you right off the bat. You got to learn what you're doing. Get things rolling a little bit, right?
Absolutely. Especially when you're pivoting and doing a little bit different content than you have been doing it. Your audience is changing, or they're going to drop off, and that's part of the joys of podcasting. But do go on.
Yeah, and that persistence also shows, even on bad days, bad conditions. Like, there's no way we should be out there fishing on these days. It's miserable. Stay inside, go to the bar, sleep in late, but we're out there, we're persistent, we're working, and then we're rewarded from all of our hard work, right? So what you end up often seeing is, if you show up and you keep at it, you're going to eventually find success, because guess what? It's really difficult to catch fish when you're sitting on the couch.
That's true. Very good point. Now, I am surprised that you all didn't sit there going, wow, this walleye thing isn't happening. There's a cove over there that's calm. We can go cast for northerns and pound northerns all day, or go over to this rock ledge over there in the calmer water and go get smallmouth all day. I mean, I'm surprised you didn't pivot and do that, but you stayed on the walleyes. I mean, that's something. You must have seen the chop and the waves and thought, the walleye's got to be hitting. So, I mean, what went through your mind?
Well, it was a lot of vision, right?
Okay.
We had a vision. We had an idea. Like, number one, we're out there. We're walleye fishing. We weren't out there to catch a bunch of northerns. Hey, northerns are fun to catch, and I wouldn't be sad if I caught one. But that's not what we're after. We're after walleyes. We weren't after perch. We weren't after bluegills. We weren't after smallmouth bass. We were after walleye because we had a mission to catch a big walleye.
That's 29.5 inches right there. Again, with my tape measure. I mean, from finger to finger there. That's a big walleye. That's a big walleye.
Oh, yeah. I have pictures of it somewhere. I wish I would have been able to find it. I would have pulled that picture out and go, yeah, look at this one. And a younger, better looking me. But I'm distinguished now.
Yeah, we're distinguished. That's what we'll call it. Yes. I've earned every one of these goddamn gray hairs, earmuffs for the small kids. But yes, every one of them.
But what happens when you're persistent and you stay focused, because you need to keep that focus. Would have probably had fun. Well, we caught a couple of smallmouth bass, but we would never. The smallmouth bass aren't typically where the walleyes are. They're two different things. You have to have some sort of focus on your business, focus on your marketing, focus on your on what you're trying to sell. If you're all over the place, you're going to make sales being all over the place. And there's nothing wrong with, especially at first, being a little bit all over the place. I'm going to try this here, going to try that there. And then it just, something just kind of happens where you're like, I really like this.
Yep.
We really liked, at least on that day, really like to go after some big walleyes, Yeah. So, and your difference can always change later on. But for me, I'm selling pasture raised meats. I'm looking for that, but I really want to sell those and get into people's heads about my subscription boxes, right? Because that's something that's scalable. I can ship it right out to you. Keep it nice and easy. It magically shows up at your doorstep. You still get to shake the hand that feeds you. It's convenient. That's something that's more scalable. So that's what I'm after, is that scalability. And by keeping that focus, that this is what I'm doing, even though it didn't really work out right off the bat, it's starting to pick up some steam because I kept my focus.
So are those subscription boxes, just as an aside, are they kind of like a CSA box where you're getting something every month? Or, okay, so that's from a business owner's perspective, that's a reoccurring revenue and it's product going out regular. You can be regular scheduled. It's kind of like this podcast that we're doing. It's Monday, 7:30, boom, boom, boom. Hey, it's the first of the month. Here comes that box. Here you go. Just like a CSA. Oh, that's cool. That's a good idea.
Yeah. And there's a variety in there, right? And I've changed things up a little bit, but yeah, it works out really well for a lot of my customers. I ship all the way down. I just picked up another customer down in Chicagoland.
Awesome.
So so I ship regionally, and I'm probably going to be shipping nationwide here shortly.
That's pretty cool.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I would say too, not to break your train of thought because you're doing a fine job, but one of the issues I identified a long time ago with what I'm doing is, when you try to be everything to everyone, right? And homesteading is a very broad subject. I mean, we're talking all kinds of stuff, and even small scale life. I mean, your life is a whole broad spectrum of things, but you tend to be flailing without getting traction, right? I'm trying to go after budgeting this month, and then I'm going to go after minimalism this month, and pinkies out. Yes. And then I'm going to do gardening for 3 months, but no, I'm going to do wellness for another 3 months. I mean, it's just kind of like all over the place. And it's finally to the point where I think some of the gardening people say, well, I like the gardening stuff. I want that. So I'm going to find somebody that just does that. And I like this. Well, somebody else might say, I like that wellness and standing in snow and that cold plunge stuff. I'm just going to follow Wim Hof, who does that. So it's kind of like there's no consistency, if you know what I mean. It's just too broad. And there is a saying in the biz that the riches are in the niches, whatever. But that's something I've struggled with for a while. I mean, you look at Joe Rogan, he's doing his thing and he's paid $50 bazillion and has the president on there and he's just interviewing whoever he damn well pleases, but he's Joe Rogan, right? So it's for all of us, it's a little different ball game, I think. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's almost like you got to find that zone, your passion, coming back to your passion, focusing in and running with it. You know what I mean? What are your thoughts about that?
No, absolutely. You have to be able to focus down on what you're after, right? Mm-hmm. And it can change, right? Yeah. And I think at first, it's not a bad deal to go, okay, I'm going to do all these different things and then see what works, what you enjoy, what numbers actually make it work for you. Right. So I've seen a lot of people, they're newer to a farmer's market. I did this, where I'm doing canned goods. Yep. I'm selling sweet corn. I'm selling some apples. I'm, flowers, whatever I can sell, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to sell it. Worm castings, and it was like, they didn't know what I was, who I was. So they looked at me, oh, you're the worm shit guy. Okay. No, I make money selling worm castings? Yes. Does worm castings, I have worm castings here and a beautiful steak here. I don't want to be known as a worm shit guy.
Yeah,
I want to be known as the high quality steak guy. I want to be known as the high quality chicken and pork guy. The pastured meat guy. I want to be known as the meat guy. Not the worm shit guy. And
your meat makes everybody happy, Adam. That's where we're at.
Right. So it gets confusing sometimes for people. Just like when you're out fishing, you want to focus on what are you looking for. Yes, there's baits that you can go, well, I'm going to go put, say, a mini mite. A mini mite's this little rubber, little plastic bait with this little tiny head. It's bright colored. Fish love it. Everything will bite a mini mite, but you're really going to focus on smaller fish. Right. If you want big fish, you got to have big ticket items, right? A big bait, something that, hey, this makes sense. That big ticket item that is going to sell for, $500-$600 instead of just going, well, I'm selling $2 here, $2 there,
Yeah, this is something that Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, Russell Brunson, Amy Porterfield, the bigs in the business, right? They talk about that irresistible offer, number one, but then two, you're not racing to the bottom. That cheap thing, sure, you can have that as kind of the thing going in the background that gets people in the door, but it's that bigger ticket item. That's why you always see something that's like $49.99 for this course, but you want the course and the mastermind and the 15 secret power plays to grow your email list, plus, Dean Graciosi's address book or something. That's going to be like $1,500, and then you'll find that people, well, that's a higher value, so I'm going to go for that. I think you're kind of in that. That's what you're talking about right here.
Right. Obviously there's things I can draw people in on. My beef snack sticks.
Yep. I was going to go there.
That's something everybody enjoys, right?
They're really good.
They're delicious.
Delicious.
Everyone enjoys them, and since they're $10 a package, it's a price point that most people can afford and are willing to spend. I got a few people walking away, and a lot more that just go, yeah, sure, why not? I'll spoil myself,
Right. Well, those people that walk away, they'll go down a Quick Trip and buy that cheaper stuff that isn't the higher quality product. That's all they'll do, and that's who they are, and that's not the kind of customer. I mean, sure, spend your $10, but you want the higher buck. That the people who are going to invest.
Right. Well, it's an 8. Remember, this is an 8-ounce package for $10. So you have to think about that. It's $20 a pound. Expensive, except when you go over to and see that you can get a 1-ounce Jack Link's beef jerky or a sausage stick, and you're going to spend like $2 on 1 ounce.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Though that math makes it 32.
Right.
$2. Right.
Right.
That price point, my stuff's higher quality than Jack Link's, I believe. Jack Link's is delicious, don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But that little package, that tiny little package there, that 1 ounce, that's $32 a pound. And when you really look at it like that, it's like, I'm not that far off on my price, right?
Right. Yeah, definitely. And they're delicious.
Yeah. and so that kind of brings me into the lure and baits. Go ahead.
Yes, because I was gonna say your little sampler, that's like the lure reeling me in, the little tractor beam, right? Here's this little sample on a toothpick, and here's the mini mite. You want the big lure right over here.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's what I call profitable marketing, right? So it's profitable for me to sell the beef sticks. And I tell you what, I sell more beef sticks than anything else. I give a little sample. Here you go, Tom. Try this beef stick. That's the original beef stick. Delicious, isn't it? It's my beef, And
this is exactly how the conversation went at the indoor farmers market and at the other farmers market in Dousman, and the outdoor farmers market. Here, Tom, try this. Here you go.
Put my meat in your mouth.
Literally putting it in my face. I'm like, okay, it's really good.
And that's what you got to do when you're fishing too, right? You got to get that bait right there in their face, and then they go, oh, fine, if you're going to be that way, I'll bite it, whatever. But you have to have the right lure and the right baits.
Yep.
When you're out fishing, you have to do the same thing when you're making that sale. You have to have that something that brings them in, slows people down. You wouldn't believe, because I love watching people when I'm out there. You wouldn't believe how many people will walk right by, and I go, "Hey, do you care for a sample of the beef of my original beef snack stick? Or do you want to try the honey barbecue? Oh, this is good. Oh, wow. Oh." Then they stop, they look, and they see my signs and the rest of my display, and they go, this is what I was looking for. I need beef. I need chicken. I need pork. And it slows them down long enough for me to actually talk to them, have a conversation with them. And they don't all buy everything, but often enough, they'll go, oh, that beef stick's really good. They come over and they try it, and they give a piece of, or they buy at least a package of beef sticks. And then they start coming back every single week buying that beef stick. Then after a while, then they're like, well, the beef stick's really good. Let's try some hamburger. For long, they're buying a steak, and they're buying a whole chicken and some pork chops and some ribs, and they enjoy the interaction with me.
Right. Well, and I think because some folks go to Costco, right? Or they go to Sam's Club, or even, where was I the other day? I was at the local Ace Hardware, and then somebody's got like Renewal by Anderson or a cell phone company or Windows or something is there, and they have their person who's like, you feel that tugging on that thing on your leg, and you look down, it's a person holding onto your leg. It's like, don't go. I want to tell you about my product. And it's just like, you go to the farmer's market, the same thing. You're just kind of like, don't talk to me. Keep looking forward. Don't say anything. I'm going to find the kale that I want right there, and I'm going to go. I mean, that's the thing you've got to overcome, right? That resistance that you've got to overcome. And I think the sample is a way to do it.
Yeah. And it's just picking people out. But yeah, lures and baits, not to mention, you have to have a nice looking setup. So whether that's your website needs to be nice looking, your packaging needs to be nice looking, your product needs to be nice looking, right?
Yeah.
It has to be appetizing to people, whether it's visually, it starts off visually. Everyone eats first with their eyes and then with their actual taste buds, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So you have to start telling that story. You could be selling vacuum cleaners. That vacuum cleaner needs to look nice. Whatever it is, if you sit there and see this guy that's all scrubby looking and disheveled and sitting there smoking a cigarette and hey, you should buy my meat. No one's gonna buy that. They want to have a nice look, a nice setup.
Right. Right. Yeah, we've talked about different farmers markets I've been to as I'm on my travels, and you see someone selling canned goods and their lids are all pinkies up. Lids are all rusty and corroded, and it looks like they've been reused. As a canning person, I'm like, there is no way I'm going to buy that product, because the lid is a reflection of what went into that jar, right? I mean, if you're reusing lids, that's a no-no. And then these things have been stored in God knows what, in God knows what condition. And then whatever food you're putting in there, did your cat lick it first or your dog taste it? I mean, it starts to make a person wonder, right? I mean, that's just me, and maybe you're the same way. It's like, ew, that doesn't look good, and I'm not going to buy it,
Right, exactly. And then the other thing is, it needs to be seen. It needs to be noticeable, right?
Yeah.
So bright colors, we don't have to be gray man, right? You don't want to be the one blending in at that moment. You want to be the one that stands out. So you got to be noticeable. Just like when you're fishing, darker water, you want something that flashes, that lets the fish know, whether it's sound, whether it's vibration, whether it's color, something that they're going to see, and you want it in their face. Here, Tom, eat this. So, trying to get right there. Then I guess the next one I would go is, you got to fish where the fish are, right?
Yes, this is a big one.
When we went to North Lake because we knew there was big fish there. We wanted to catch big fish. We went after big fish. So we were fishing where the big fish were. And we understood how the seasonality, how the weather changes that, things that draw those people in, right? Or that those fishing. Same thing with when you're working at a farmer's market or a business. You could be selling, what do you even want to sell? Fans. I see a fan in the background. You want to be selling fans. You want to be around those people that are really hot, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't go to, you're not going to be going trying to sell fans to an Eskimo. You're going to be going to a place where they want to cool down, right?
Right.
So you got to find those places where people are going to go and buy that product. In my case, it's farmers markets. And in the greater scheme of things, it's just people in general that are looking for my product. Now, online advertising, same thing with that, right?
Yeah.
There's that. What is your demographic?
Right.
What is your demographic fishing? What is your demographic with your customer base?
Oh, here we go. This is what I was looking for something, by the way. Here we go. Let me share this for a second. Just, we're talking quite a bit about these things. The attractiveness, right? Or the pull. So you haven't even seen this, I don't think. Look at that. It's a thing of beauty. Very colorful.
Oh,
very nice.
That's
Very demure. Very respectful. Look at that there, guy. Look at that. It's a very nice looking stand. Oh, look at that.
Gosh, she's beautiful, isn't she?
Yes, you both make a great looking couple. Absolutely. So,
you should see the kids. The kids are gorgeous too. Take after mom. So,
just had to do that. So, if for everybody who's listening on the podcast later, I had pictures of his stand at the Dousman Festival, or Farmers Market, and then a couple pictures of Adam and his beautiful wife. So that was pretty cool. So I'm glad I went and visited. It was cool.
So
and the banner is strategically placed, so that's all you see. You can't see the other booth that's on the other side. I like how you did that. It's the bigger, better deal, the bigger offer, and hey, you're going to stop here. There's no one over there. Trust me, there's no one over there. Nice folks. They're very nice folks.
She sells microgreens. I sell meat. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's for rabbits.
Yeah, exactly. You want your steak, right? I got steak. She has microgreens. I got big steak, microgreens. You tell me, what do you want? Then again, her microgreens are delicious.
Was she the lady that was next to you at the indoor farmers market, or is that a different person?
Same person.
Okay. Yeah. No, super, super cool lady.
Yeah. No, big sweetheart. Absolutely. Yeah. So I get. So we're gonna move on to fish where the fish are.
Yeah.
Or we moved on to that, and now we're looking at fish where the fish are. But on top of that, you have to accept where you are, right? Where can you go fishing? Where can you sell? For me, I'm a little bit limited because it is a perishable product.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you don't have that problem. Tom, you don't have that problem. You can sit there and people can have this for free, right? Online, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
but I do notice, building off of that, is just sharing it willy-nilly to, say, Telegram. That Telegram chat only has 16 people in it, maybe 13 people in it. There's nobody there. It's like fishing in the deep hole in the lake, and there's a couple fish floating around or swimming around, but actually they're over by that rock wall with the rock shelf called Facebook, and that's where a lot of my listeners are. So I needed to come to grips with the fact that I need to go over there and fish there. And I've also been finding that there's an audience on just YouTube, right? And 500 people, 600, 700, 800 people are watching a short, and that gets into presentation and all that other stuff. But you got to go where the people are. So wasting your time on Telegram, it's good to interact with similar people, but you got to go fishing where the people are or where the fish are.
Right. And then on top of that, there's the spot on the spot. Right? So when I was talking about that rock wall, that was probably about 30 feet or about 30 yards long. Right. Mm-hmm. And then you had this one hook, this bar that was kind of like a hook. And that bar, that rock bar, that was only maybe about 10 feet long. Right. And then that spot inside there was really only maybe about 5 or 6 feet of actual spot. You had your bait in that spot, you're gonna catch a fish. So you have to have the spot on the spot. Just because you have a big website on the internet doesn't mean you're going to catch anything. That's like being on a big public pier, right?
Right.
You need to know what spot, and being out there. It's great to have social media. It's great to have that, but then you have to have the lure and the bait to get them in. The good for you. Let's face it. It's a good title. Title, couple of good looking guys, that helps out a lot, right? I mean, I'm sure we get a lot more ladies on here just because of it, right?
Sure. Yes, absolutely.
So
our wives count.
yeah. I mean, let's face it, we both outdid ourselves with that.
Absolutely.
So but maybe the only place you have to go fishing around you is a small little pond. Start off with that small little pond. Maybe you can only fish from shore. Fish right there. You, on the other hand, you can fish out your back door.
I really can.
But wherever those sales opportunities are, go after those sales opportunities, right? Presentation. Presentation's a huge thing. Yell it from the rooftops, loud as you possibly can. Tell anybody and everybody that'll listen. There's tricks and hacks with Facebook and YouTube and stuff, and I wish I knew more about it. I'm not the expert there, but yell it as loud as you can from the rooftops, going, hey, I'm over here. I'm doing some cool stuff. Come on over, right?
Yeah.
And you can't just sit there and go, well, I got a website. Look at my website.
Yep.
No one knows about it.
Right.
Tell people.
Right. Exactly. No, and it does make a difference. Like paid Facebook ads, you can target certain demographics, right? You can target the specific fish, as you're looking at your demographics on your analytics. And target interests, right? You're going to search for the walleyes, not the bluegills. Those are what you want. And you can actually set that all up in your targeted ad in Facebook. And I've run those before. It's been a while, but I've seen good friends who are running their small business start to get some real traction, just like out of the blue. But in reality, it's been over a year that they've been using these drips and drabs on Facebook targeted ads. And finally, it's starting to get traction. And it's really cool to see in real time, because it's like, oh, that's pretty cool. How did that happen? But I know how that happened. I've watched it over the past year. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's something you even look at into off of your page, is to, put a little marketing budget aside and set up a couple ads and then, hit them, hit that demographic. It's just a thought.
No, absolutely. No, that's something that we've been really thinking about doing also. And, right now it's setting up the infrastructure and knowing what we can catch with what we're putting out there. Like, what kind of equipment do we have? Are we able to bring that big fish in? If I would go after that big fish, spend the time and effort going after the big fish, do I have the equipment to drag that fish in?
Right.
Same thing. And that's using that lure, right? That's using a big lure. Am I able to keep up with demand? And yes and no. We're slowly growing into that. But I just can't go, hey, the cows are grown. It takes time. Just can't, we got to grow the chickens. When we have a lot of something, then we can start expanding.
Right.
But part of it is you just have to have the knowledge base too, right? You're going to get yourself in huge trouble if you grow too fast, but also don't let that hold you back.
Right.
And that really actually brings me into my next point perfectly. Like, I know. We're connecting really good here today.
I know.
So fish with the equipment that you have. Oh, hey, I want everyone to know about me. Well, if you can't fulfill those needs, then why are you trying to advertise for it, right?
Yeah.
If you're already, say you own a painting business and you're already swamped, you can't do anything more, you really can't grow anymore at this moment, you only have one truck and two ladders and one other guy working with you, well, it doesn't make sense for you to sit there and do a lot of advertisement on Facebook then. You
Right.
know, obviously do some stuff on Facebook, let yourself grow a little bit, but to sit there and pay for ads probably wouldn't be beneficial to you as of yet.
Right.
But in fishing, I fish with a 16-foot boat. It's not huge. It's a 25 horse Mercury. It gets me out there. It does its job. Tell you what, I've caught probably bigger fish, not to be cocky, bigger fish than a lot of these guys that have these huge giant boats, because I spent my time and money on the boat and not on this great big yacht. But I can also get to places where I wouldn't otherwise.
Right. That's true.
Now, would I like to have a big boat? Absolutely. Big boats are fun. It's nice to be in a big boat. It's more comfortable being in a big boat. But don't let not having a big boat keep you from getting out there fishing. Just because you don't have the big infrastructure, and that's me, right? I'm the guy with the little boat. I'm the guy with the little farm. Oh,
there we go.
Spurgeon. There you go. Yeah.
I know, right? There you go. How's it, fellas? It's going great. We're doing really good.
Absolutely. I'm having fun today.
Yeah, we're linking up, in case you just dropped in, we're linking up business with fishing and how everything you learned, how to get your first customer, and what fishing taught us all about business. So Adam is putting on a master's course. Welcome to the show. Thanks for checking in.
Yeah. So, fish with the equipment that you have, get out there fishing. You can always upgrade slowly as you go. If you come across the money and the infrastructure to the money to buy that bigger boat per se, or that rod, great. Right now, I have a small farm, right?
Yep.
I found ways with my connections to still make it work, still make it profitable, and working with other people. And in all reality, it's probably a better idea to do it that way in the long run. There's some definite advantages to that, because I wasn't married to this big piece of property and making that big piece of property work. I can now utilize other people's properties to make it work. And if I don't want a piece of property, there I go. I don't need it anymore.
Right.
Give it to someone else.
If business climates change and customer bases change and all that rest. I mean, this is how Curtis Stone, for all of you who don't know, Curtis Stone, he was the urban farmer, wrote that book, really kicked off Curtis Stone and Jean Martin Fortier, they really kicked off the whole spin farming, urban gardening, market garden concept. And Curtis really went in and talked to all his neighbors and made deals where, hey, I'll give you as much veggies as you want. Let me till up your backyard. We'll put in, this market garden and you'll get veggies. I'll pay you for water. And I don't have to own land in Canada where it's very expensive. He could just branch out and take over like 4 yards plus his yard and serve his customer base. It was really a cool way to go about it. And you've got some good friends, and I got to meet one of them where you had that barn festival this fall. Really super cool guy. And I'm glad you're doing that. That's really smart, man. Instead of having to put in and buy and maintain all this property, who's got time for that? We got things we got to do, right?
Absolutely. Well, that's one of the frustrating things. I see so many people that are really smart, that have so much passion into raising animals or doing some sort of farming, but they don't ask the question. They won't sit there and they won't knock on someone's door and say, hey, you're not using your land. Can I use it? They're not utilizing their opportunities. And there's so many people that are so giving that find it really cool what you're doing. You have to do something cool, for people to start noticing you. And that's Curtis Stone is probably a big inspiration of why I'm doing how I'm doing it. Right. To sit there and go, hey, you're raising beef and you only have 8 acres. Like, how does that even work?
Yeah,
You
it
know,
doesn't compute. Yes.
right. The numbers don't work. And then building up my customer base and building up other people around me. Would I love to have a giant piece of land? Would I love to be
Mhm.
the guys on Yellowstone, on
Oh yeah.
Kevin Costner on Yellowstone? Absolutely. You know,
Right.
but I'm not there yet. I worked with my small boats in my small ponds, and now I'm graduating into bigger ponds, bigger lakes. Maybe someday I'll have a bigger boat.
Hmm.
Maybe I'll just borrow other people's boats.
Right. Right.
Um,
Exactly.
let other people live the dream also, and that's a huge opportunity I think that people miss out on. Is you can make other people's, when you're in business, you can make other people's dreams come true. You can pull them along and go, hey, Tom, I don't want to sell this worm castings anymore. You want to sell it?
You're making
You
the pitch.
you know how to garden
I do.
better than I do. I mean, I'm a decent gardener, but like, I mean, this is something more your passion.
It is, but I don't want to be the worm poop guy. But I will be building planters, and I will be selling planters. And now you're building that awesome offer, right? That irresistible offer. You've got a planter. You can do a wicking planter in there. You've got worm castings. That's a superfood for plants. I mean, can you feel me? Do you feel it? Do you like it? You know, that kind of thing. We'll put this up here for a second. So hurting for sturgeon, I like this. He's got a little guide business going there. Look at that. And been tracking sturgeon movements. Now, I don't know if you've ever caught a sturgeon, my friend. Have you ever caught a sturgeon?
I caught one once out of a
Did you?
canoe. Well,
Oh,
no,
wow.
no,
Out of canoe?
I almost caught one out of a canoe. Once
Okay.
again, remember when I said that a lot of people they will sit there and they'll try to go for a big fish with small equipments? That's what I was doing, and
Mm,
I lost it because I couldn't handle it. You know,
yeah.
it was so.
Yeah. So I've been out. I was up on the Rainy River, and I went. Julie's cousin took me, and we were with a group of 2 other guys, and me and him, and we were on his boat. And man, we got into some sturgeon, and it was fun. I mean, dude, as big as the back transom of the boat. I mean, there were some big sturgeon, and they fought, and they're just like a big log pulling that in. It's a lot of fun. And, you know, you have eagles flying around, and yeah, you catch a few suckers, and you throw them out there, and the eagles go pick them up. But man, the sturgeon are very cool. So that's very cool business. I really like that. You know, there's a lot of ways to go about it, and working with the tools you've got, working with the boat you got and the equipment, and you just upgrade over time. You don't have to have it all perfect right off the bat. And that's that's my little Capricorn tendencies, is to want perfection, right? And perfection is the enemy of the good. I think this is a theme that you've talked about often, Adam, is just start. You just got to start. Don't be afraid. Doesn't have to be perfect. You just got to start. And this is all memos for this guy. So, who likes to be more of a perfectionist. So we'll get back to that worm poop thing. I think it's going to come up a little bit more. Yeah, right. You're going to wear me down over time.
Well, I mean, even if it's something on the side, maybe you don't want to be known as a worm poop guy, but hey, you know what? I also do this. You know?
Yeah.
Add-ons. There's nothing wrong with add-ons as long as you do have your focus. You have to have your focus. I mean, it sounds like the sturgeon guy here. He has his focus right on sturgeon. He's not going after muskies or bluegills.
Well, that's true. That's true.
He's after sturgeon. And
right.
You know what? When someone wants to catch a sturgeon, they're going to go ask him. If he's still on here, I'd love to know where he guides at.
Yeah, I'm curious about that too. And he just put in here another one here that he's fishing from the bank. That's pretty cool. So where are you out of, hurting for sturgeon? Why not do a little free advertising here? Let us know where you're at, what river or lake. I mean, I think the Wolf River has a lot of sturgeon in Wisconsin. He has the Wolf River cams that show the sturgeon that are on the runs, and that's always fun to watch. Is these big monster fish coming up through the murk and swimming by the cameras. So, yeah, that's good stuff. I love it. Oh, Portland, Oregon. Very cool. Well, thanks for checking in from Portland, Oregon. How about that? Very cool.
They got big sturgeon over there. We just got the big sturgeon. They got the big sturgeon over there.
Oh, the big ones over there, guy. Look at them fish. Oh, they're big and huge. Oh, yeah, it's awesome. I think my cousin is Julie's cousin's still a little mad at me. We had this big one on, and I tried to haul it into the boat, and I couldn't get a good grip on it, and I lost it. He broke his line. He was pissed. It was a big fish. It's like, when it takes 3 big guys to hold up one of these things, and I'm sure up in Portland they're even bigger, but man, that's fun. And all of them are swimming today. We didn't keep a one. We didn't hurt any of them. It was fun. Just fun.
It's always good stuff.
Mm-hmm. What else is on your list, my brother?
Well, no, that's about it. Okay. It's about just getting out there and doing with what you have. Do what you can when you can with what you got. Just start.
Right.
Start that business. It's going to evolve. Go fishing. Get out there, do your fishing, and learn and figure out what that correlation is for you. Maybe you're a golfer. I don't know.
No.
Yeah. I mean, but there's a correlation somewhere, I'm sure, in everything else. But for me, like fishing, marketing, business, they are so many similarities, and it's taught me so much. And I didn't even realize that's what I was learning when I was sitting there going, I can catch a big fish.
Yeah. No, I really like this. I mean, especially like defining the target audience, target market, if you will, developing that clear offer, and that irresistible offer, right? I mean, it's meat sticks and look at this awesome fillet, I mean, you want this, right? I mean, this is going to be good on an anniversary, that kind of thing. So, the online presence is important, but it's really about talking. How about testimonials? Are you using testimonials much? Oh, I got to give you a testimonial.
Yeah.
I got to give you one. I got to give you a review, brother. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we're on. You can give us a Google review, and we probably need to expand on that. Eventually, we'll get a little bit further, but Google reviews really do help us. We got to start talking to a couple of our customers and like, hey, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Hey, give us a review.
Right. Yep. That would be me. Yes. The other thing, simplifying the purchase. If it's hard to buy, if it's hard for somebody to spend the money, if it's hard for the fish to get their mouth around the bait, they're going to spit the bit, right? They're not going to go for it, right? I mean, you got to make it easy. So, having that big easy button to, here you go, here's my payment. I mean, that's important too, right? I mean, how many websites have been on where it's just like, how the hell do I even buy this thing? It sucks,
You sit there with your card and you're like sitting there going, just take the darn money, for crying out loud, Tell me how to do it. And I'll be honest with you, we probably make the same mistake on our website too. And that's why it's important for you to have other people look at your site and go, dude, I couldn't figure it out. And there's some drawbacks to the website, that the platform that we're using. Slowly but surely we're gonna adapt, especially in this off season. We're gonna adapt, make some other things happen. But yeah, you're right. You definitely have to be able to make it easy for that person to understand what you're saying, what you're doing, and how they can support you.
Absolutely. Now, this is a good story right here, man. Look at this. 3 to 5 foot, 35 fish, 3 to 5 feet. Are you kidding me? In the Hood River up there, Columbia River. That's some pretty spots up there. I did some work as a consultant. Oh, way out there in Oregon, but I went up the gorge and man, it was pretty. Oh, what a great spot to go fishing, So this is good stuff. I like this. And there you go. Look at that little offer. Love it. Love it. Love it. Good thing I don't like fishing at all, right? No, I just hate it. I got to get my 16-foot Lund out of the farm where it's stored. I got to go get that and clean it up and get that done over the winter so I can get out on the water in that thing too. So that's so I can perfect my baits and everything. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's really good. Now, do we want to finish with that piece, or should we? I don't know if it's with the thing that we talked about at the beginning.
That's up to you.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to bring it up, I mean, you're more than welcome to bring it up. But if you want to just say, you know what,
this has been a good show. I don't really want to get my blood pressure up right now, but I'm going to bring it up. Why not? Let's do that. Cause it's going to be good. So if nothing else, we could talk about product placement for a moment, right? Am I right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good product placement.
Right. So here we go. So this came out today. This is big news. We have the new president-elect with Elon Musk and other folks. And look at this. You've got RFK Jr., who was just railing about junk food and all the rest. I wonder if I can make that bigger. Junk food and all the rest. And there he's got a Big Mac and fries and a Coke. I mean, talk about product placement, right? That's excellent product placement. But at the same time, you've got this guy with this funny grin on his face. And it's just like, I mean, it's good advertising, no doubt about it. But man, your new health person is advertising that. So what is the message there, man?
Well, I won't say that I don't ever have any sort of fast food, right? I'm not going to say that I've never.
Hey, I'm not a purist. I'm not a purist either.
Now, Robert F. Kennedy, he's kind of in the spotlight, right?
Mm-hmm,
So
totally.
it's like, it's not exactly a good look. Then again, I'm a realist. It's like, it's difficult, especially when you're hanging around with your buddies or coworkers and
the boss.
they're eating, some crappy food, and it makes it difficult. Right. I mean, what else are you going to eat?
Right.
To defend him just a little bit, look at his face. He's like,
I know. He's
really?
got this look like,
really, this is what you guys are going to make me? Come on, dude. Come on. Really?
Yes. Yeah, that is not the good look there.
No.
Can you see that pretty good? Can you see that a little better?
Yeah.
I'm testing things too, so that's part of this part of the fun here. Is I'm testing the equipment. So, oh yeah, this is good. I like this. It's like sneaking fast food because your wife's cooking his pig slop. I see a man doing what he's gonna do. Oh man, that's a good one. Hurting for sturgeon. I do like that. Oh, we'll take that. That's something. But yeah, I got you, man. I mean, he who hasn't sinned cast the first stone, right? And yes, we have all had it. It's not a good look for the guy who's leading up this new health run, and the Cheshire Cat smile, or from the man in the corner. We'll see. I don't know. But talk about putting that bait out there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna be healthy.
Well, I mean, the whole thing was we're Healthy America Maha starts tomorrow.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's right. That was on the tweet on X. Was Maha starts tomorrow, and how many of us have been in this diet phase forever, yo-yoing around? And like, well, I blew that meal. I guess I'll start my diet tomorrow. I'll start it on Tuesday. I'll start it next week. Mm-hmm. Guilty.
Yeah. That'll happen, and the thing, not to give more advice, but it's a game of inches. If you can keep yourself from that one meal for that 1 hour,
that's true.
That's a win. Like, be proud of those little wins. Don't, got to look at the small wins. Those little inches count as big feats. Does that come out right?
I'm not sure. I wasn't sure where you're going with that, but I'll just let it go.
Those little wins count, add up into big wins.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And, it is a game of inches sometimes. Even with the selling thing, it's a game of inches, right? And it's you just got to start, and you got to keep going and stay persistent and consistent, and that's why I really like doing this show on Mondays. I mean, that it was a busy day today, and I was like, I got to do this, but it's good. I need to hear this. I need to do this. And it's been a great experiment for sure. So I'm sure enjoying it. That's for sure. And I got to learn a lot from you. I mean, you're running this business. You've been doing it for now, what, 2 years now?
Full time. It's been about 2 years,
right.
Hardcore with some actual focus.
Yeah.
About a year before that I didn't have any focus, and it was like, we're here, we're there, we're all over the place. And then now it's like, okay, got to focus. In all reality, we're growing really quick for the, for what we're doing. We're growing quick,
right.
For the short period of time.
Right. So looking forward at Modern Frontier Farms, what's on tap for you? You've got some things that are going fast and in limited supply. I think turkeys is one, correct?
We have some turkeys. We'll have some fresh, and we have some frozen turkeys. So those are available, ready to go. Then we also are working on our gift boxes. They can be sent nationwide in the lower 48s. Hyper local, like, hey, I like to brag about the flavors that we have here in southern Wisconsin. So we have some organic cheeses, my summer sausage, my beef snack sticks, some wonderful organic crackers that even RFK would enjoy.
I think it would be wonderful to try those crackers.
You kind of sound a little bit like RFK and Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton? Oh, man.
Together.
Bill Kennedy.
Bill Kennedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then on top of that, so then we're going to be going back on Thursday over to that farmers market at Java Twist, and coming up here, we're going to have a really cool event at the beginning of the new year, or of December. Going to be at a bluegrass festival.
Ooh, cool.
Bluegrass festival and craft show, or
nice
vendor fair, whatever you want to call it. So
very cool.
Yeah, fun stuff's coming.
Nice. Excellent. And I saw you were decorating a Christmas tree in one of the local communities around the farm.
Yeah, trying to be part of the community, and that means putting in the work and putting in the effort. They have this big, beautiful Christmas tree going up. That's it's a big event for the business club. That's
cool.
To be honest with you, and tell everyone, if you're going to have a business, I don't care how small it is, join your local business club. It will get you so far so quick, because they're possibly looking for someone like yourself, and you just don't know until you start talking to people.
Right. That's awesome, dude. No, I couldn't wholeheartedly agree. And, that's one of the downsides of being like an online content creator guy. You're just in your own little space sometimes, especially when you travel, and Pinky's up. Yes. When you're traveling and doing all those things, sometimes you don't get it plugged in like you should. And that's something that needs to change. So, 2025 is going to be a different year. We're settling in. This will be our second year here at the landing. So it's really our chance to really connect and burrow into this neighborhood and in this community. We did a bunch of, let's see what's happening here. Did a bunch of winterizing stuff, which I need to turn into an article. Just getting everything buttoned up, and we're ready. Did a whole bunch of maintenance on the hot tub and got that all set for winter, and full drain, refill, chemicals, the whole deal, and rodent proofing, all that kind of stuff. So it's that time of year. Little friends are going to be looking for homes. So make sure you weatherproof your house and keep those little furry friends out, because your cats will love them, but you will not. Trust me. I know from living in a farmhouse built in the 1900s with lots of cracks and holes and things. What else is happening here? Oh, I need to get all the logs and firewood split and build some wood racks and all kinds of stuff. So it's going to be busy here as we get into some poor weather conditions. But we are ready for it. So get your snow blowers tuned up if you're in the northern country, and be ready, because it could be coming anytime, So other than that, Jules and I are talking about all the different things we've got going on. Some good stuff is coming, so I'm really excited. All this business stuff is really going to come into play for both of us. So stay tuned. It's going to be a lot of fun as we get going in 2025. So other than that, I think we're about there. We're at 1:15. Not bad.
Not bad. We almost kept at the hour.
Right. Just went a little over. It was the RFK talk. You know what I mean? So, and I'm surprised you didn't say, well, if RFK would have stuck to carnivore, he would have been just fine. Throw the bun, throw the fries, get some water, a bottle of water. He would have been just fine. So fail, bud.
yeah, I missed out.
Oh, that's all right. No, I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about RFK. So I'll have to work on my RFK impression. So
please do that.
I don't know what you're talking about. It was a big, beautiful Mac, and I just enjoyed it with lots of fries and a Coke to wash it down. It was beautiful. Wonderful. All right, my friend. Well, I think we're about there. This is Tom from Small Scale Life. Remember to learn, do, grow, be a little better every day. And this is also
Adam with Modern Frontier Farms. Gotta try my meat.
That's right. His meat does make everyone happy. So make sure you do that. It is always a pleasure, my friend. And thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for hurting for sturgeon, and good luck with your fishing business. This is really cool. Keep checking in. We're here every 7:30 p.m. Central Time here on the Small Scale Life YouTube channel. And we'll be back next week. Next week, we're going to talk about surviving. We're talking about surviving the holidays. I have to survive deer camp first, but yes, surviving the holidays. This is going to be good. We'll have a really good conversation, especially with all the political yucko happening. So get ready. All right, everybody. We'll talk to you real soon. Take care, everybody. In closing, from the north to the south, from the east to the west, and everywhere in between, may the gods, spirits, and folk be blessed at this place. May we heal the land and protect the soil, animals, and plants. May we live in strength and love, leading the way as we learn, do, grow, and be a little better every day. This is Tom from the Small Scale Life Podcast. We'll be back with another show. In the meantime, stay safe and take care, everybody. This has been a production of Small Scale Life Media.
On the road, I'm on the road, I'm on the road, on the road. I don't know where I'm going next, but I know where I've been. I might be coming to your little town and make a few new friends, 'cause I'm on the road. I'm on the road. I'm on the road. On the road. I'm on the road. Welcome to the Small Scale Life Podcast.
One more important note. Small Scale Life reminds you that we are not licensed doctors, therapists, healthcare professionals, or financial professionals. You should always consult a professional before starting any practice. All information shared on Small Scale Life or the Small Scale Life podcast are for informational and inspirational purposes. Results will always vary, and participation in any practice or activity is completely voluntary and at your own risk. That said, keep learning, doing, growing, and being a little better every day. You've got this.